Hello guys and welcome back to game number 2 between VG and CDEC. We should have a pretty interesting one on our hands here. Probably not going to be another techies here from VG, but let me introduce my co-caster Slesh, who hopefully should be able to hold my hand through this final game of the day. I've been sick, I've been tired, my throat is starting to give in, but I should be able to finish this off, go back home, go to sleep, and rest for the rest of the day.
Yeah, well, I'm probably gonna do the same actually.
What was that? What was that laugh?
I have a bit of a dirty laugh. Yeah,
That laughter, oh my god. Well, VG banning out Batrider Storm Slug, while CDEC taking out the Trollballer Chen and Broodmother. The pretty common duo there are Vengeance Shadowfiend. The Minus Armor brothers, always, well, brother and sister, always useful, while CDEC with the Queen of Pain and Clockwork. Clockwork is a hero that we've seen swing in and out of fashion pretty quickly. One day all teams are picking him in the first 1-2, next day no one's picking him at all. But CDEC bringing him back a little bit here. Decent initiate, well, very good initiator, decent laner, but he is susceptible to getting shut down by multiple ranged heroes in lane.
Yeah, one thing to note, Wisp is still in the pool, so neither team has picked him up yet. I don't know if VG are even considering picking him since they already have VS Shadowfiend, and most of the time when they run like Tiny Wisp is... I don't know if How actually plays Tiny. I've never seen him play. It's mostly been Super and then FY on Wisp. But oh well, you can surprise us. Maybe even safe lane Shadowfiend. We might see a bit of a return of that. But yeah, techies.
Do you ban it?
I would just ban it. I mean, respect ban.
You ban the Brood. You don't want the Ice Brood, so why not ban the Ice techies?
Ban techies. I don't know. HTT did it against Secret after they lost the first game against Secret. Then they banned techies.
But like it leaves so many heroes out there. Ice is definitely not. He's the opposite of a one-trick pony. He can play pretty much any hero in the majority of roles. So we'll see what they come up here for VG Gaming for Ice. CDEC thinking very hard here about their 4th ban. Because I guess, they get the pick straight afterwards, taking out the Juggernaut. Now they can go with something unusual. They can go with something standard. The world is their oyster as they go for the Earthshaker. Pretty stock standard support.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, they saw the power of it in last game. It was always disrupting an initiation the whole time. FY did a fairly good job there on the Shaker. And it's just overall such a solid hero. They have the Clockwork on their team as well, so no batteries, those shenanigans preventing Shaker from casting anything. So probably a second support next pick, the range support that can harass a little bit more, and yeah, maybe even counter out some of VG's heroes. Like VG, I mean, the Phoenix is still in the pool. We do know that Ice likes to play him.
Yeah.
It's possible that they pick it up right now, but then again, CDEC can then respond by picking Scarlet or something, and that would not be very nice. Scarlet also combos nicely with Clockwork. Yeah. I don't know if VG are even considering picking up the Phoenix at the moment or not. Yeah. Maybe they go for a bit of a more experimental draft as well. Who knows?
It's kind of weird looking at this and thinking that Sniper is still out there, not picked, not banned. But neither team really has that draft which is sort of flowing towards Sniper. No one really wants it right now. Sansa hasn't been picked or banned. He's quite a common hero that we've seen recently from Chinese teams. But CDEC definitely have the greater initiation power right now. Fisher, Hookshot, Queen of Pain blink in with the magic damage. Vici, do you try and go for counter initiation? Do you try and just play defensively with Swap? With a Spirit Breaker, it does offer you the counter initiation. Charge in, Nether Strike to try and stop what CDEC are doing. But he's also a very good hero against Quap.
Yeah, it's also a hero that Ice is rather known for playing. It just creates so much space on the space cap. And CDEC, well, it was very unlikely that VG are going to pick Clockwork into Quap, Shaker, Clockwork, really. I mean, Clockwork often is being picked solely as a counter to the Sniper. But CDEC, they might think of picking him, though. Although Spirit Breaker is kind of a bit of a deterrent as well, since you can just charge past enemy lines and single out the Sniper and kill him. Well, Sniper does lane rather nicely against Shadowfiend, and they might still do it.
Well, CDEC, second support more likely than not here, and then they leave their one-roll hero till last. What have we got? Rubik, Witch Doctor, Scarth Mage you mentioned. There's quite a few out there which can fit the bill. Is playing that zoning support on the safe lane. But
Lion's still in the pool.
Lion, yeah, definitely. With the Rubik, there's not too much to steal right now. CDEC go for the Wisps themselves.
Okay.
So potentially here, they could still go for Tiny Wisp mid, then have the Queen of Pain safe lane, Clockwork off lane, and Earthshaker roaming between lanes. Or they just forget Tiny Wisp and they go for something completely funky.
Yeah. Bristleback is also an option, I guess. And since Vici just picked the Morphling, there's very little chance that they're going to pick a Razor to counter it. And Lion gets banned out by CDEC since they've already finalized the supports, and Vici are lacking one of them. No big surprise there. Tiny being banned there, so no Tiny Wisp shenanigans.
Come on,
CK
Chaos
also
Knight.
another Chaos Knight, yeah.
Come on.
I was gonna say
Bring
CK
it back.
Do it.
I mean,
NIP ran it against Empire, I think. Yeah.
in Major All Stars?
Yeah,
I
Major
didn't see it, I
All-Stars.
just heard about it. Was that with the Wisp as well?
Yeah, with Wisp, CK Wisp. I don't know if CDEC have even ever played or practiced the hero at all, but
It's not that difficult though, surely. You know, you throw stun, you reality rift forward.
I'm not talking about the mechanical aspects of playing the hero. It's just, you know. Oh yeah, I forgot about her actually. She's been really falling out of favor. And PA is pretty good. Also pairs up nicely with the Wisp. And it's good against physical damage overall, since Vici do have quite a lot of that. Though Shadow Fiend's razors do hurt a lot, and Morphling can even think of picking up the E-Blade later on.
Yeah, I was considering, you know, a hero like Sven. It does leave you a little bit strength heavy, but against Shadow Fiend Spiritbreaker, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Morphling, SF, they rely quite heavily on their magic nuke damage early on in the game. And, well, I guess PA, she can pump out the DPS herself. Let's see if she gets lucky with those crits, though, because that's what she's going to be relying on to take down heroes like Morphling and Spiritbreaker. We do see the Scarth from VG. So Scarth, Venge, Shadow Fiend, Spiritbreaker, and Morphling up against this Wisp PA. Do you reckon it's going to be mid dual lane, or are you going to just run a safe lane and Wisp PA?
I don't know, actually. I mean, the Chinese teams always do something funky with the Wisp. I mean, sometimes they start off in the mid lane and then rotate to the jungle, stack a few camps, and then go to safe lane. I don't know. Could be anything, really. Judging by the fact that Morphling's going to be safe lane and SF mid, PA against SF, she loses rather badly, I think. So they're probably... Although Shiki is the one who's playing PA, so maybe it's indeed going to be dual mid lane instead.
Yeah. Aggressive picking up the Queen of Pain, so maybe solo safe lane there. But I agree, especially if Super goes level 1 Razors, you know, you put the pressure on early, and you try and push out that creep wave. Get it close towards the enemy tier 1 tower, control runes, and then you've got Scarth and Venge, who aren't really going to be held down to one lane.
Looks like we have a bit of a pause coming in. Somebody hasn't... FY probably just... needing a little bit of a break or hasn't returned to his PC yet. But Super on the SF Isocyze, no surprise here. On the Spirit Breaker, How, of course, on the Signature Morphling, which leaves Fenrir on the VS and FY to pick up the Skywrath Mage. On the other hand, see that we already talked about it, aggressive on the Queen of Pain. Oh, wait, no, they just switched. Aggressive is now on the PA.
Okay.
They just swapped. So Shiki is on Queen of Pain.
I don't know if that's a bit of mind games, or if they're, you know, talking internally. Hang on, guys, if the Sheriff want to do this, but we'll see how things pan out for them. For those of you just joining us, this is the game number 2 between CDEC and VG. VG took game number 1, so CDEC looking to drag themselves back through and get themselves a win up against VG. See how they do in this game. I'm Durka, joining me Slesh. I'm a little bit sick, he's a little bit tired. Together we are Captain Planet or something like that. I'm not too sure yet. We'll come up with something.
Yeah. We should, at least. Do you know how CDEC are doing? Do they actually have a conceivable chance of still making it to the playoff stage?
I'm not too sure. Let me go back and bring up my little table. Table, where have you gone? CDEC are currently 3-3. There are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. So that's 7 matches, times 2 is 14. So yeah, any team can still go through, right? I'm assuming top 4 teams go?
Yeah. I don't know exactly how the format is, but yeah. Let's see how it works out. Ideally, of course. Shiki does have mid items, by the way, so it looks like Queen of Pain is indeed going to be the one laning mid. Although aggressive, also Poor Man's Shield on the PA. Is this going to be an aggro tri-lane?
That would be interesting. Because you're against the Vengeful Spirit and Skarath, it's going to get a little bit messy. Clockwork with the boots. Oh, they've got the Fissure. Doesn't block off though. Fenrir gets conked back as How is in the midst of 4 heroes. He needs to waveform. He needs to get out. He goes up over the cliff and into the creep camp, but he's going to be just fine.
Value bounty rune.
But did he get it? Okay, he got the bounty rune. Okay, fair enough. Magic missile lands. Fenrir caught out though. A couple more right clicks, and that's going to be a denial from Ice. No first blood just yet.
No, just a bit unfortunate. Both of the fissures a little bit off target and not trapping it fully. And looks like Cheeky is the one who's moving towards bot lane now, so aggressive on the P is going to stay mid.
Interesting. Because this is the issue that we were saying before. Arcane Bolt raises. Like, no raises have been used yet, and aggressive is dropping really low on HP.
Yeah, it's also Shiki is a bit late towards the laning stage, and so Isis is getting at least the first wave of XP without any contest whatsoever.
Who took the bot bounty rune, actually? Scarth Mage, really? So the Dire get both bounty runes because they did a 5 versus 5 contest top. Ice. Fissure is going to slow him down just a little bit. He's got charge to escape, so he's not going to be under too much pressure here. So waste mana or waste time.
Yeah. They have to wait. Bottle is currently in the stash. Now it's on the courier, so until then, aggressive really has to stay far back and giving Super a very early lead.
Yeah, the fact that Garda didn't get that bounty rune straight up means that his bottle's delayed. Aggressive with a full man shield. You know, it's not going to save him against the magical damage from FY and Super.
Oh, looking top lane now. How is currently completely out of mana, so XZ can really start playing rather aggressively, and we see it in terms of the CS as well. He's 3 for 3 above How's 2 for 2.
Yeah, How gets one under the tower and brings himself up a little bit, but it's not an easy lane. Especially when, you know, you're getting mana burnt like this, but also the fact he dropped really low and had to waveform initially. He did go back to base, did he? He had to go all the way back towards lane with not too much to show for it. Good Fissure there from Q, stopping the charge from Ice, but also stealing the bounty rune from under his nose.
Yeah, you're waiting a little bit to see if Isis is still going to try to get it. No big deal who got top. Illusion being picked up by Scarus.
Does How die here? Level 2 battery assault, and it looks like XZ is just chasing and chasing. A couple more right clicks, the magic missile is going to slow him down, and How is morphing strength, but that's going to be a kill for Clockwork. No!
Oh!
That was painful to watch. That was Clockwork's pride and joy. He deserved that. Like that was his kill.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, pathing or got juked or whatever it was, he didn't make it through the little gap in the trees.
Couldn't really stay on time, and then How turns around and he is the one instead who gets the first kill, and that's gonna be his bottle if he wants to buy it. Well, top lane Fenrir, Garda TP's in there, and that should be an easy takedown. VS has no mana whatsoever.
Revenge is sweet. Not quite as sweet as it would have been if it killed How up on that top lane, though.
He can still make up for it later. Or try to. In terms of CS though, no big surprises here. Super completely leading the board. Although PA is not doing too badly herself. 11 for 1. But Super is doubling up.
Yeah, Queen of Pain, 19 for 12, denying away while Ice hides in the trees. Doesn't want to get hit by Shadow Strike or anything like that. Okay, Clockwork gets taken down. Up on top lane.
Yeah. That's boots and bottle minute 4. Fissure comes in. Garda, can he get into range for the spirits?
This is going deep though.
One more?
No, he needs a right click and an orb. Earthshaker's already dead, and Garda is probably going to fall here as well.
Oh god, this Morphling is going to get so fast.
Oh dear. They basically just got...
Morphling.
Well, they basically just got 3 kills from nothing. There were 3 heroes from CDEC all standing up on top lane, and all 3 of them died one by one.
Yeah, if you think about it, that he was losing the lane against the Clockwork. Clockwork nearly solo killed him, and that would have completely destroyed his game, and now he's on a killing spree. Boots, bottom, magic 1 minute 4.
Fenrir gets jumped on, but here comes Super with the double raises. Fenrir will fall, and aggressive isn't actually going to go down here to Super. There's no charge from Ice, and no follow-up. But Vengeful Spirit on the wrong side of the river gets caught there.
Yeah. Gets that on the server board just before she dies. I'm not quite sure if CDEC spotted it. They weren't pinging it out, at least. Ice, how's he doing? Level 3. Yeah, it's not easy laning as a melee hero on off lane against Queen of Pain.
Yeah, we've seen Ice moving towards the bounty runes, trying to charge towards mid. You know, he's doing everything he can while top lane, waveform in. Clockwork probably going to go down here to another right-click of Vengeful Spirit. Tri-lane working out wonders for VG right now.
Yeah, how not getting the kills, but only 2 assists. Doesn't matter though. They already have boots on both VG supports, and yeah, this is looking terrible. It's just the snowball effect, really. I mean, Morphling was getting absolutely wrecked in lane, and now he's the one who's fat.
Yeah, Hal was being crushed by that Clockwork. One tiny, like, it wasn't a mistake, it wasn't an error, it was just bad luck. Has now turned this lane back around, then Hal gets a couple of kills on the Clockwork again when he's out of position, then the 2 supports try and get the counter. Q, not going to get the bounty rune there, as Ice gets 2 bashes out of 4 hits.
That's not too outrageous though. Do you see that one video with Trixie just bashed the Klings to death?
I've seen a bunch of videos where there's been like 7 bashes in a row. All sorts of nonsense.
Yeah, it's because the Greater Bash from Spirit Breaker is one of the very few that's not pseudo-random.
Yeah.
It's completely random.
I learnt this the hard way. I was talking about pseudo-random about 2 months ago or something like that. And I mentioned Greater Bash, and obviously, nope, you're wrong. Oh man. Clockwork.
Having fun yet?
Is that 4 deaths in a row?
4 deaths, yeah. This is so terrible. I feel so sorry for him. Like, he must be feeling frustrated. I mean, he's only level 5, and even the support VS is level 4 already, and hit close to level 5. Skywrath is already level 5.
Well, it's like I mentioned in the draft. Clockwork is a decent laner if he gets the right matchup. But against triple ranged, he really does suffer. When the Vengeful Spirit or when the Skywrath, you know, they were sitting mid, they were moving around, stacking and pulling, and it wasn't a full-on tri-lane, then Clockwork was at one of his peaks, laning phase-wise anyway. But now, he can't jungle, he has to go back to lane. There's nowhere else he can go, and with this aggressive lane ward here from VG, every movement he makes is going to get scattered out.
Yeah, VG are just taking full advantage of the fact that how currently 2 levels higher and the level 4 waveform together with the Ancient Seal almost certainly just kills him outright.
Oh yeah, we should say it's not pseudo-random distribution.
Yeah.
There's another pseudo-random. Yeah. There are too many things and stuff. Thank you, Muhubu. I'm reading Twitch chat. I like Twitch chat today. They've been nice. I think it's because I'm sick and I sound ill. They're being like all motherly and now I've said this, they're going to be like, haha, Ebola, Ebola cast.
Don't give them any wrong ideas.
I've seen it already. It started a while ago.
It's not too terrible though.
TP down to bot lane. Looks like Shiki might go down. God, I managed to keep him alive a little bit longer. As Spirit Breaker's dead. FY going to drop to Aggressive, who's the one that TP'd in. Fenrir looking for a counter kill onto Q, but not going to get it. Super aiming the razors, but he doesn't have a target. As the rest of CDEC back themselves up.
Really aggressive? Really?
Did he just blink in there?
Yeah, he did.
Well, he doesn't have another blink to get himself out. Vengeful Spirit dies, but losing a PA there was not necessary at all. And now Shiki's charged up. There's no way he can blink or TP. Well, no, he can't TP because of razors. He can't blink because of waveform. Another right click. There's no way out.
Questionable play by PA, I guess. He just blink struck onto the Shadow Fiend, and just like, okay, well, double raise, you did. And they were coming out ahead because VG were really overstaying their welcome. Spirit Breaker as well as Sky was falling in quick succession. Yeah. And then they just do that. And then suddenly VG once again take a few kills and take the tier 1 tower at the same time as well.
Maybe the PA was expecting a few more crits, who knows, but VG, it looked like they were losing that fight pretty heavily until they got the kill on Aggressive. Now Queen of Pain has Treads, Bottle and Null. No real progression there, but let's have a look at net worth, because 4.8k on House Morphling. Bottle, Treads, Ring of Ankle, not too shabby given the
Super?
started.
Why?
Where is he? What's he doing? Oh. Oh dear.
He just ran towards them. He ran onto the PA, basically, and he died. There's like no other way of putting it, really.
That's
no way of sugarcoating it either. He just died.
Do you expect 4 there from CDEC, though? Maybe you expect, like, you have to expect the Wisp with the PA.
They had the ward, just saying.
Oh yeah, I guess they did, so they had full vision up on high ground. Never mind.
It was a bit of an odd play, but how so far they're keeping his team in the game for sure. Is a DD room bottled up as well. Oh, this poor Clockwork.
He's level 7. It's not poor Clockwork anymore. He managed to hit level 6, and he's got a TP scroll. So regardless of where the team fight happens, he's gonna make an impact. Don't you worry. Don't you worry.
Mm-hmm. Smoker towards bot lane, but Ice might die before they even arrive. Charge.
I don't know. The charge, good Fisher though from Q, gonna stop him in his tracks. His Ice now has no escape mechanism. Shiki, desperate to seal the deal there.
Yeah, why not? I mean, the VG supports were rowing in trying to get a kill, but Ice just died before they arrived, and that was a bit awkward. Maybe they can kill the Wisp. What level is FY? He's level 6. Are they gonna go for it?
Well, they're gonna go into Shiki, in fact. Mystic Flare on top of the Magic Missile, the Ancient Seal keeping the Queen of Pain locked down and unable to
swap
out.
Nice.
Good swap. No mana left on FY, but he doesn't need it. With the right-click attacks, double null, already paying for themselves.
Morphling even also getting the last hits up there. And, okay, interesting Fisher being thrown out by Q.
Please stop, How. Please, just stop. I think that's what the Fisher was for. Aggressive on this mid lane PA now. Treads and Bracer. So, drums finished on the career? Yeah, drums are finished.
It is, I think, out of all the items on Skywrath, it's definitely the most aggressive. Just going double nulls and then power treads as well. Like, you do so much damage with Arcane Bolt all of a sudden. Arcane Boots are kind of nice with the mana sustain, but if you're using Mystic Flare liberally, then it doesn't matter if you have Arcanes or not, you're still gonna be starved for mana.
I feel like this is the best build to go. Treads double null, then find yourself a Force Staff or a Yules or something like that. Because the double null not only gives you great right-click attack, gives you a bit of mana pool, gives you a bit of HP, but Arcane Bolt becomes that really potent ability that threatens the Queen of Pain and PA. Skywrath is going to be out there doing tons of damage to the cores on CDEC.
Overall, it's still, I mean, in terms of net worth, top 2 net worth are both on the Dire side. I mean, How, no big surprise here, 4-0 and 5, leading the way. And also going for Linken's, and kind of preemptive Linken's, just in case that Queen of Pain does decide to go for Orchid, which doesn't look like it.
It's going to be Aghanims for Shiki. But, I don't know, Lincoln's on your Morphling this game. You've got Dagger to cancel it out, like Dagger and Blink. I guess BKB doesn't cancel out Sonic Wave, but...
Ice mid. Are they gonna go?
I don't know. The Clockwork is waiting in the wings, ready to hook in onto someone. They've got the Rocket Flare for Vision. Shiki goes up onto high ground, decides best for it as he blinks down and bails out. The Replicant Vengeful Spirit gets critted once by Aggressive. But How is up on this top lane. The TP's back have to come out. Shiki stopping the push into the tier 2.
Yeah, I mean, the Linken's is overall just fairly good item for sustain. Northling can always make use of the stats. Doesn't block anything crucial though, I have to say.
I mean, like, with a Morphling, the fact you've got Bottle, Mad Style would preempt the Orchid. It would also give you nice agility and stats. BKB would be good against the Clockwork with the Cogs and Battery Assault, Urgent Fisher. So I guess it's, just one of those comfort builds that you fall back into. There's no real pros or cons. There's no real,
Orc shot?
Oh,
that was never gonna happen.
I think Tilt comes into factor here. Good Mystic Flare from FY, but it's not gonna take anyone down just yet as Vengeful Spirit comes in with a Wave of Terror. Spirit Breaker. Another strike down onto XZ. The Clockwork's gonna take a fall.
Yeah, there's a hasted SF though.
Where is this hasted chase? Who's being chased? How can't decide between tower and killing people. Waveform finally across as the concussive shot. One more raise, one more right click. What do? They get the right clicks in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just once VG gets up ahead, they can just chase until no end with morphling, waveform. Isos is constant charging. It's hard.
And then they TP back How, and he continues split pushing and farming.
Right now, CDEC, their Queen of Pain is pretty useless, to be honest, right now. She can't blink in anyway. If she blinks in aggressively, she just dies in a matter of seconds. And so what they need to do is to get PA incredibly farmed, but good luck with that.
Definitely a difficult proposition as VG head into the Roche pit, and it looks like they're going to take this without too much contest from CDEC. You know, hook shots on cooldown. There's no blink Earthshake or anything like that, of course. The ES is quite a way away from that. And Shiki, Aghanims is 1400 gold away, but that item, you know, is going to help you farm. It's going to allow you to split push a little bit harder. Maybe in team fights if VG group up and try and focus down the PA and they manage to relocate her back or something like that. Sonic Wave, Aghanims, you know, can do a great deal. But I don't see there being a better item for... Like, Orchid is nice, and you could maybe go for Solar Kill on the Skarath or Venge. But if you go for one of them, you're dealing with Spirit Breaker charging you, the Morphling wave forming. I don't feel like Solar Kill potential is there for the Queen of Pain in this game.
Oh, that's true. I really... Well... You out of all people know my stance on Aghanim's Queen of Pain.
Well, I'm the same. I like Orchid on Quap. It's just... It is one of those proverbial rock and hard play situations.
Yeah.
The Aghanims isn't ideal, but the Orchid doesn't offer you what you'd want from it.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, if you start going into the more odd builds we've seen from Queen of Pain today, you know, Shadow Blade, Skadi, maybe that could work out.
Maybe a right-click build, yeah, why not? Well, SF, after picking up the mech, is now finishing up his Yule Scepter, getting it delivered on the courier as well, so he has enough mana regen, enough HP regen, pretty tanky, and good escape abilities as well. Aggressive, jumping there onto the VS replicate. The hate is real.
17 minutes in, and How has nearly 10,000 net worth. I was looking at the Shadow Fiend and thinking, that's pretty good. Mech, Yules, Treads at 17 minutes, you know, that's decent. But How is just outdoing everyone on this Morphling. 406, 108 last hits. He's going nuts.
Yeah, they aren't killing him. I really don't see how they're gonna kill a Morphling. They don't have enough burst. Simple enough.
Maybe it was like 7 crits. Ice goes on bot lane. Can't get the strike down onto Shiki though. And Ancient Seal isn't forthcoming as they turn back around onto the Spirit Breaker. Aggressive, blinks forward. Silence stops, so he's not going to get any more slows, blinks or anything, but he does get a crit, which will seal the fate of FY as they continue diving.
Yeah.
But Clockwork, yeah, top lane.
What's that? 6th death. Okay.
And tier 3 is going down. It's not slowly either. Like tier 3 is dead. Is there a response here from CDEC? Can you do anything too much?
TPs in.
Good fish
but How is just gonna wait for him in for sure, right?
Oh man, let's swap aggressive back. He's dead. Couple of races and Requiem. Shiki has to blink himself away. Throws out the Sonic Wave, but it doesn't finish anyone off. Aegis Immortal is still up on the Shadow Fiend. Super. It's tanky as all hell, and they're taking racks 18 minutes into this game.
Buyback on the Wisp, but it's not gonna save. Do anything at all. Isos was just annoying the crap out of them. The XC TV's knees, that's gonna be a 7th death for sure. There we go. And
yeah, Whisper's dead as well. PA on the sidelines for 20 seconds. GG is called as Avicii Gaming take the series 2-0. Quite some style. What, a 19-minute GG here?
Well, it just means that you can go back to bed earlier.
Yeah, it's time for me to rest my voice, guys. Drink some ginger tea. And, I don't know, sleep. Sleep, lots and lots of sleep. Apologies for the lag earlier on. Apologies for my voice. Thank you, Slesh, for joining me and keeping me not only sane, but, you know, allowing me to have a little bit of a rest between saying random words.
Well, of course, that's what friends are for. So, yeah.
You can check out joindota.com for all the standings for the D2CL Chinese group stages. There's all the group stage action over there with live streams and all the points being gathered up by the teams. I've been Durka. You can check me out on Twitter and Facebook at DurkaDota / my co-caster. does not have any social media. He likes to keep himself off the grid and hidden, just in case the FBI, stormtroop his house and want to take him away.
How do you know that?
Oh, I know everything, but
God.
later on tonight, Cap will be casting the ESL 1 qualifiers. I'm not sure who's playing, but that's in a couple of hours' time. That's it right now for D2CL. There's more tomorrow. More Chinese action tomorrow morning starting at 9 AM CET. But who do we have? HGT versus VGP, so the two... Well, one of the underdogs, really, VGP, that have been proving quite strong, actually, in this group stage. HGT, they've got a lot to prove. The skill that they have is being outdone sometimes by their drafts, followed by EOHome against CDEC and VG versus VGP, which is definitely one that I'm going to be looking out for. The VGA squad against the VGB squad.
VGP, they did manage to take a game of EOHome the other day, so they're definitely looking strong. Let's see. It's good to see new young talent, be it from the eastern or the western scene, come into play and see how well they do.
Yeah, they're definitely doing very well, but we'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 AM with some more Chinese D2CL action. I'm going to go to bed, guys. I'm going to go and rest my throat. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Hopefully you won some rares, and hopefully you had a good time. Good night. It's the middle of the day, but good night.